Hi, Doobie.
Hey,
Well,
Benji. How are you
how are
doing
you?
today? What hat are we wearing today? Pizza Planet?
Yeah, Pixar Fest starts on Monday.
Ah. So, hello everybody. My name is Doobie Mosley, co-founder of Laughing Place. Joining us today is Ben Breitbart, the head of this tiny company, and apparently Gavin Newsom, the governor of our state of California, in which Disneyland is located, just completed a press conference with some updated COVID guidelines, which could have some very important meaning for Disneyland. So we thought we'd jump on live real quick and pass on some details and see if we can shed some light on when our favorite theme park might be opening. So Benji, why don't you take it from there?
Okay, so basically what happened before was the counties were either on a monitoring list and then or they weren't. And if they were on a monitoring list, they were restricted to they couldn't do certain things. Movie theaters, theme parks, they were closed across the state anyway. But um, they said state counties could move off the monitoring list, which included Orange County, where Disneyland is, but there was no changes. They couldn't reopen what had been closed because they were added to the monitoring list. So it was sort of just a in name only kind of thing. So they replaced the monitoring list with these four colors. Now I should say regarding Disneyland, just to be upfront, um, they have not issued the guidance as to how this all impacts theme parks yet. Gavin Newsom is having a meeting this afternoon where they're going to keep talking about what the rules for theme parks should be. But it is safe to say that once they have metrics, they will go through these colors as well. And in a little bit, once we talk about what the colors are, we can look at what it means for zoos and aquariums and kind of presume it will be somewhat related. So there's now four colors. There's no green because green means this is over. But purple is widespread. That's the toughest. That means there's more than daily cases per 100,000, and more than 8% positive tests. And that means many non-essential indoor businesses and operations are closed. There's red, which is 4 to 7 daily new cases per 100,000, and 5 to 8% positive testing. So that some indoor businesses are closed, but some are open. Moderate, which is orange, which is 1 to 3.9 daily new cases per 100,000, and 2 to 4.9% positivity rates. And then there's yellow, which is less than one case per 100,000 and less than 2% positivity rate. So I'm going to show you where Orange County is. So Orange County is right here. And so they're listed as purple, but their COVID-19 cases per 100,000 are 5.6 and their positivity rate is 5. So if you see that, you would think, well, why isn't it red in the substantial? Well, the reason is that you have to be on this list. You have to be on these conditions for at least 2 weeks. And Orange County has just moved over from the monitoring list so they're not quite ready to move to the next level down, which would be red. Another thing is once you're on one level, you can't move to the next level for at least 3 weeks or 21 days. And they're going to update these colors every Tuesday. So basically, it's not particularly clear if now Orange County is going to be in purple for at least 3 more weeks, or if they're going to count the weeks that would have been purple before they came up with this. But it's going to be a bit before Orange County is able to add some more activities. So now there is a couple changes where indoor hair salons and barbers can reopen, and indoor retail can open at 25% capacity. So that doesn't affect Disney because downtown Disney is outdoors, but in the interest of being fully transparent. So if we then go to here and we type in, so first of all, you'll notice theme parks are listed here, but they are closed everywhere. And there's no industry guidance yet for theme parks. But if you go into zoos, which they kind of lump together with aquariums and museums, if you're in purple, you can if you're in purple, outdoor only. So for folks like SeaWorld or Marine World, Six Flags, the Marine World experience, where just they're running them as zoos, they should be good to go because as long as they stay outdoors. If they move into the red zone, which San Diego is in, you can have indoor modifications, and there has to be limited 25% of capacity. Orange can have indoor modifications, and they can move over to 50%. At yellow, they still have to follow guidance, but basically they can be open.
So I just want to say real quick that purple is better. It's worse than red.
Yes.
Which is no end to confusion for me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I must look at my notes like 18 times to make sure I get that right. But yeah, you think red is like full stop, but like I guess because it's like a deep red, it's so basically, if you parallel Disney with theme parks with museums and zoos, they can't open under purple. I mean, unless you did it outdoor only, like Knott's is doing. Red 25% of capacity, which would be in the red zone, may be possible. I don't know what capacity Disneyland would feel like they need to open at. Now, granted, there's fire marshal capacity and then there's Disney capacity, which is less because they don't want people to be miserable. So, that might be doable for Disney. So the key will be getting new guidance from California, specifically about theme parks and other entertainment, but also getting Orange County from the purple zone to the red zone.
And again, you said, at least according to current numbers, it should be the red zone, but there are certain qualifications in terms of length and how often the updates when it'll actually switch. But the number, at least as of right now, are there.
Right. And I think the other thing, unless, Disney's really on top of following this process to the point where they're going to hedge their bets about when they're going to be allowed to reopen, there's still going to be a recall time. So is Disney going to wait till they get to red, assuming that theme parks can open at red, and then, wait the 3 weeks or 6 weeks, depending on who you talk to get the cast back and all that other stuff? Or will they, will they be kind of looking at the numbers daily and being like, okay, we should be getting onto red now, so we're going to wait? Once again, just to be upfront, we're guessing what the theme park requirements will be based off following museums and zoos, but it could be completely different.
I think it's also interesting that just a few days ago, Disneyland Resort President Josh DeMero,
chairman of Disney Parks and Experiences.
Oh, he got promoted, I see. Said to a travel agency group that Disneyland is ready. Obviously, you have to call in cast. I mean, that's a big deal. But at least in terms of modifications and plans and all that, they're ready. They're just waiting for government approval to get the ball rolling. Correct?
Yeah. So, right. So there's no, as of right now, there are no theme park guidance. As we said, and as Danielle brings up, they're having a meeting about theme parks this afternoon. That doesn't mean this is, imminent. It means it's a meeting. It could be the first, or it could be the last, or it could be in the middle. But they are going to be having conversations specifically about theme parks. Gavin Newsom did say big theme parks like Disney, which he, for some reason, didn't want to name outright. The theme park company you mentioned or something like that, the brand you mentioned. They're easier to kind of figure out than some of the smaller operators, because obviously Disney has, medical staff. They have experience across the globe about dealing with this. But, they don't want to do it just for the big guys. They want to do it for everybody, which is understandable. But they might not have the resources or, guidance to plan it out.
So all the other Disney theme parks now are open around the world? Did one reclose? I can't.
Hong Kong is closed again.
Okay.
It's not really clear if that's COVID related or not.
Why? Oh, okay. A lot going on in Hong Kong. Good
Yeah.
point. And just for those of us people who may have come in late, can you just give us the Reader's Digest overview of what you've gone through?
Yeah, basically, California is moving to a color-based system. Orange County is currently purple, but could move to red, which is the second lowest level, second less extreme. It goes purple, red, orange, yellow. If their numbers stay where they're at, it's hard to know if Labor Day, if it's going to get worse or what's going to happen. But they are going to, but theme park guidance has not been specific. So theme park guidance could be different than what museums, zoos, and aquariums are. However, we do have guidance for museums, zoos, and aquariums, which means if it's purple, outdoor only, red, 25%, orange, 50%.
We have a question. Why is Knott's open? Can you talk about why it's okay for Knott's to be open under the conditions they are?
So Knott's is not open as a theme park. It's essentially open as an outdoor retail establishment. They're just doing merchandise and food and beverage, similar to how SeaWorld will be open this weekend. And Six Flags Discovery Kingdom is offering the Marine World experience. They're operating as zoos and aquariums. So none of the attractions are open. You're going to see limited entertainment options. It's just they're not operating as theme parks. You don't buy a ticket to get into Knott's. You buy a tasting pass, which gets you food. So, I mean, you could say it's working around the system, but it is,
But it's not. I mean, theoretically, what Knott's is doing, Disney could do. It's just Disney doesn't want to, but they're not truly open.
Yeah, Disney could open up the park just to walk around and sell food. I don't, they, in their opinion, obviously don't feel it's worthy. That could change. So Disney could do the same thing, but they have Downtown Disney, which they might want to cannibalize.
Let's see. We had a question from Robert. Is this so? They not only have they not changed the requirements, they still have not given any requirements. Correct.
For the theme parks, yes, they have not given requirements. This was designed basically. They used to have a binary system, which went from monitoring list to not monitoring list, and then the monitoring list was. It was very confusing about what could be open at what point and the sort of steps of that. However, this is supposed to give you almost like when they used to have the terror alert system where it's just different colors. Sort of like
they don't do that anymore.
They don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Just to kind of say, okay, what flag am I flying under? What's the rules today? But what is a little confusing is the holds. You don't just look at the numbers. The numbers can start the clock. And that process is a little confusing about when the clock starts, how long you have to be on the clock, how you can go back and forth.
Can you put the image back up just while we're talking that has the various colors?
Yeah.
So I don't see, if there's any other questions, feel free to ask them. I
do want to bring up too that, technically Orange County could have more restrictive guidance than the state. The dialogue coming out of Orange County doesn't seem to give that they have any interest in doing that, but the state could say, we want you to be open at 50%, or you can be open at 50%, but this Orange County could say 25%. Ultimately, the counties can override the state if it's more restrictive.
And again, so the best analog we have where they have given guidance is zoos and aquariums, and that requires yellow. Correct?
No, they can open at red at 25%.
Okay. I'm way off.
So at 25%, if Disneyland could open at that capacity, I believe they would. Particularly if it's based not off of what Disney considers the capacity, but what the technical building capacity is. That's not insignificant.
So I know this is a chain, but they have not given theme park guidance. The closest we have is zoos and aquariums. Zoos and aquariums can open at red. Orange County is currently in purple, although
zoos and aquariums can be open at purple, but outdoor only.
Okay, which wouldn't apply to Disneyland. So Orange County actually is at red in terms of numbers, but it hasn't meeting all the qualifications to be downgraded from purple to red. So, but if you follow that chain, theoretically, conditions currently in Orange County may allow, but there's lots of ifs and things that need to be satisfied before it actually opens.
And these new guidelines don't go in effect until Monday. So anything that I listed about hair salons, outdoor retail or indoor retail, I just want to be upfront and not confuse anybody. Those will not go effect until Monday. They're just announcing them today so people can prepare.
Okay. So
It's a lot.
confusing. And I can't even remember the name of the head of Parks and Resorts. So anything else?
Can you talk about movie theaters too, real quick?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
So, right now, as of today, movie theaters are still closed. However, these go into effect on Monday. Purple, outdoor only. Family entertainment centers, like your Boomers and stuff, they can be outdoor only. Red is 25% or 100 people, whichever is less. And orange would be 50%. So it seems like for red, they're going for most things, it seems like 25%. Orange is 50. Purple is closed.
So, sorry. Disney does have a movie theater. Do they actually own the El Capitan? I don't even know how that arrangement works.
Yeah, they they have a 99-year lease on the El Capitan.
Okay, so that is in Los Angeles County. What does LA County look like then? Do you have that map still?
Yeah, LA County, I believe, is in 13.1 case per 100,000 and a 5% positivity rate. So they are well over purple, nearly double purple for that one metric. So
okay, so their opening is probably not going to happen on Monday. But they did have a cool trivia contest yesterday for anyone who had a chance, and hopefully they'll be doing more of those and raising a little money. I'm sorry?
Next one is September 10th.
Okay. I believe you finished in top 10, weren't you?
I think it was 13th.
13th, okay. So a nice way to help the LCAP raise a little money during this tough time, give them some support. And apparently I didn't get to do it, but my wife did and said it was a ton of fun. So, and Benji did as well.
The other thing you can do too is, if you want to go to the Rose Bowl, you can go see New Mutants, virtual drive-in.
Yeah, we just put up an article on that today on Laughing Place, so please check that out, as well as an overall review of the brand new film, which I believe was a last-minute thing we didn't see coming. Am I correct?
We didn't see that was actually going to happen.
Okay, I don't see any more questions coming here. I think we've covered this as well as we can. Anything else you want to mention?
I just want to say, we'll keep following this. They'll probably, as we said, Gavin Newsom's meeting with the theme park folks today. So there might be an update on Monday. If he has anything to say, we'll probably do another one of these just to keep everyone posted, because you don't want to listen to Gavin Newsom for 70 minutes, talk about everything but this, and then we'll just take out the part we care about, and then we'll go through.
Instead, you can listen to us talk for 17 minutes about just what you want and even answer your questions. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm guessing we'll have an article on this as well on Laughing Place. So we can, for those of you who prefer to read, which I think is still a few of you. And we have nothing live coming up today, the rest of the day, do we?
Nope.
I don't think we do. But tomorrow, 7:30 p.m., Disney Trivia Live with me and this guy. So please be sure to tune in for that, 7:30 p.m. Pacific.
Me and this guy?
That's what I put my son up here. Why is this live? Not that guy, that guy. It's live because this is actual breaking news, Gideon, with people having questions. This was the perfect use for a live platform. So good idea, Benji. And we'll see y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in, and let's hope everything gets better for all reasons. See ya.